This video is meant to help you better navigate some of the resources that are available to you as a Motlow student. Part of your technology fee goes into subscribing to these, and these are really great resources to use for any kind of a research paper that you have to do, not just in my class, but in your college career. One thing to realize is that really no matter what class you're taking, a lot of times there will be a research component. Even if you're not doing a research paper, a lot of assignments would require you to do research. So I just want to make sure you know how to successfully navigate this wonderful tool that's available to you. And I do encourage you to use this not only in my class, which will be a requirement for many of my classes, but also use this in your other classes as well. So basically what we want to do is we want to access the library's databases that our library subscribes to. To do this, we're at Motlow's main page. We will go to our handy Quick Links tab at the top and go down to Library. Notice over here to the left we have some categories. We want to go to Find Articles. We're not really interested in books for our researching purposes because books are way too long. Articles you can read, you can find a 400-page book that you have to scan through and find the sentence or two that you can use in your paper, or you could find a 10-page article that has a paraphrase summary of the article that you can read and see if you even want to use it. So definitely for our research purposes, we want to go to Find Articles. We'll click on this, and we've got a few options here. Find articles by subject, by database description, and find articles by searching all databases at one time. I would avoid this last one because it's going to be way too much information all at once. I'd say to start with the find articles by subject, because the only piece of work you have to do is figure out what subject heading your topic of research would fit under. Basically, this menu that we're seeing now has all the databases, and there are lots of databases that we subscribe to, but it has all the databases categorized under specific subject headings, like we have academic and general interest, business, history, social science, computer science, controversial issues, education, and you can read the rest. But basically for my class, the most that we'd probably use in here, humanities including literature, of course, and also, depending on your class, controversial issues may also be a good tab to check out. Let's just run through an example here of if I were a student having to do some research for my English class. Let's just kind of go through the process that I would use. So here I'm at my Find Articles by Subject. Let's say the teacher has given me the following assignment. Let's say I'm taking a literature class, and I have to write a research paper that explores the symbolism in August Wilson's play Fences. Okay? So, based on that, I know that a good subject heading to start with would be humanities, including literature, since this is a piece of literature. It'll take me to basically the block of databases that deal with specifically literature. Now, I've got a heads up of where I've already used a lot of these databases in my college career past, but if you're new to these databases, you may have to do a little exploration to see if this is a database you want to use or not. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you, if you are in one of my literature classes, JSTOR is going to be the #1 go-to database for your purposes. JSTOR is the Englishy database that has a lot of the journal articles specifically for literature. So we will click on JSTOR. And this takes us, each of the databases has a different type of search menu, but all of them operate very similar to each other. Basically, you'll go to a page very similar to this, to where you do just a basic search. And if you'd like to do an advanced search, a lot of times you can. Just a heads up, we'll take a look at the advanced search here. A few things to hit on here that may be interesting for you. You've got date range, you've got item type. Sometimes they have, I want to see if this one has full text. No. One of them will go to, oh, here we go. No, actually, we'll go to another example. A few very important search fields, if you're doing an advanced search, is going to be you want to find an article that is the full text. A lot of these databases may have reviews of articles. The review is not really going to help you. Also, it'll have like just the bibliographic information for it. That's not going to help you either. You want to make sure that a lot of times you can click a category that says full text only. There's also an option you can click that says peer reviewed. If you ever see this, it's a good one to click. Basically, this means it's an article that's been reviewed by other smart people, and these smart people have given it the green light saying that, yeah, we can publish this. There's no glaring errors or anything like that. So it's just a good way to check the credibility of the article that you find. We may come back to an example of that, but again, if you're doing an advanced search, good categories to click on are peer-reviewed and also full text only, because you want to make sure you find the actual article so you can read it if you want to. Now we'll go back to our basic search. Remember, our topic is the play Fences by August Wilson and symbolism in it. So let's try just the term fences. Alright, well, okay, I've got a lot of results, 1 through 25 of 9,920. And the problem with this is I'm actually drowning in the amount of information I have. I mean, 9,920, there's not going to be a whole lot of these that will be specifically helpful to me. So what I really should do is try to limit my results further. I need to put in a better search term than just the word fences. So let's say fences, and we specify it's the play by August Wilson. Let's see if this helps any. Okay, well, yeah, it cut it down quite a bit. Instead of 9,000, we've got 951. Yeah, sure, that's still a lot, but that's manageable. Let's just see if we have any good hits the first few entries. Notice here, this actually has a little menu that lets you know if you have access to the full content or limited content, or if it'll take you to a site that has the article. So that's nice, kind of a guideline here. We know we're looking at symbolism, so if we look at the titles of the articles, that may help us see if it's going to be about symbolism. Here's an interview with the author. Sometimes those are good because the author will explain if there's any specific symbolism or not. Oh, hey, here's a good one. Baseball. If you've not read the play, baseball is a very heavy influence in it. If you've read the play, you should know that we need to look at the symbolism of baseball. So here's an article called Baseball as History and Myth in August Wilson's Fences. Well, sounds good. Notice we have here some options of page scan, PDF, and summary. Let's just click on it and see what we have. Alright, here you have basically access to the entire article. We see here not only the author, but we see how many pages, 349 through 358. Well, excuse me, that's a very manageable read as far as you can read these limited number of pages and find some good information to include in your research paper. Now keep in mind that JSTOR is, and all the other databases you have access to, are useful for finding for what we something we call secondary sources. And literature, that's going to be important. Secondary sources are basically articles written about a primary source. For example, here, Fences would be the primary source. The actual play Fences, that's my primary source. This would be an example of a secondary source about fences. So as a writer, if I'm making an opinion paper about fences, if I'm giving an argument about fences, it's really nice that I can go in and find intelligent people who have written their opinions about fences, and their opinions agree with mine. So I can bring them in as a voice that echoes what I think. And that's what you want to do with these database articles. The next video I'll go through another example of how to find it in something other than JSTOR, and also talk about some of the obstacles facing us with using these.